like my idea of using the Love Simon, Love Victor formula to spotlight many LGBT teens over the course of different seasons. But having now watched the whole first season of Love Victor, you are so right. We definitely need a season 2. There are so many things that I need to see play out. It is an incredibly satisfying and bingeable show. I watched the remaining 9 half-hour episodes in a single sitting. I just couldn't stop clicking next. It was phenomenal. And then I was so sad when there were no more. First off, before we get to the spoiler section of this review, I want to thank all of you who offered me your Hulu passwords to watch this for free. But I decided to step up to the plate and sign up for Hulu for 1 month, and I even splurged on the ad-free version, because I think it would be really hard to watch this show. I mean, every time it was supposed to go to commercial, you could tell, and I'm so glad it didn't. It was worth the $12. I think it was $12 for like the 1 month, which I guess, to be fair, it's less than HBO Max, and it's about the same. It's like, I think, $1 less than Netflix. So Little Fires Everywhere, which everyone's telling me is great, and then reruns of Seinfeld and Golden Girls, here I come to get my $12 worth. So yes, this is my spoiler review for Love Victor. You have been warned. All right, so what an incredibly romantic show. Wow, I think that it's really, when you can surpass, for non-LGBT members like myself, when straight people like myself watch this entertainment, for us to go, that's just so beautiful and romantic, instead of, oh, I'm glad to see the representation, but to actually have the feels, that shows that it's incredibly well done. I was really, really impressed. And you're not just getting 1, but 2 of these this month. Pride Month, no less. How appropriate. Because I think both this and Harley Quinn, I had to rewind the ending of Harley Quinn to watch it again immediately. It was so beautiful. And I felt, I think this was just pretty much almost as good. I didn't rewind this one, I think, because I've been watching it for so long, and I was like, oh man, I gotta go to sleep. But it was, I think, equally as beautiful. And another important distinction is that both these relationships are leads, not comedic supporting roles. Or, usually LGBT couples are done in an angsty or comedic fashion. These are mainstream leads, and I think that is also incredible progress. It was wonderful. I mean, also, when Victor showed up at the dance in his sharp suit, Michael Cimino looked so good in that suit, with his dark brown skin against the crisp whiteness of the shirt. I mean, it was like, Benji, you have to dump your mean boyfriend. How could you pass that up? And boy, Benji's boyfriend was mean, and a slob. I didn't know what Benji saw in him. I felt bad for Benji. I was like, Benji, what are you doing? The producers have said that based on Simon's quote, that all you can do is share your truth. You can't control how other people react to it. Well, that's what season 2 will be about, the reaction to Victor's truth. And I think that that's a really good idea, and it's set up beautifully by the cliffhanger ending. They literally leave you waiting for a reaction. I think that's very smart. Oh boy, I hope they get a season 2. Oh please, Hulu, what else do you have? Come on, renew it. I thought that was great that he turns around and tells his family he's gay, and then they cut. And I was like, no, I want to find out what they say. I was very upset for a moment, which of course was intentional by the show, that Victor once again would, do what was best for his family and not himself, and still not tell them that he was gay. When he turned his back on them to go back to his room, I was like, don't you do it, Victor. Don't you do it, show. Don't you make the cliffhanger that he still hasn't told them. So I was relieved that he turned around and did. I mean, his family, they love him very much, and it's wonderful to see a Latino family, by the way, as the lead in a show like this. I think it's excellent. I know some other networks have tried to do the same, but I don't think anyone has had the authenticity, just the realness, and it hasn't seemed, again, it's really important this stuff doesn't seem like tokenism. It did not seem that way in this show whatsoever. But I just think that, his family is a little selfish. All of them, to be honest with you. We don't know their youngest child very well. I even forgot his name. But yeah, I think that they are a little selfish. I think it's unintentional because they're all going through really bad stuff. But I feel bad for Victor. I feel bad for him. He doesn't really seem to have anyone he can confide in, which I guess is why, of course, he turns to Simon. We'll talk about Simon in a moment. That's a beautiful part of the show. But also, now that his parents are separating, I think they're going to get divorced. I don't think they really are meant to be together anymore, quite frankly. I'd be like, you guys should just skip to divorce, to be honest. I'm sorry. It makes me kind of feel like maybe they moved for nothing, but of course, for some people, the move has turned out very good, mostly Victor. mostly really just Victor. But I do wonder if the mom and Anna Ortiz will get back together with Roger, because Roger still obviously seems very interested, and I'll be curious to see if that's where they go in season 2. And of course, that would have a big economic impact on the Salazar children if their mother were to go back with Roger. I wonder if they'll explore that. I bet the show would. This show isn't afraid to explore anything, which I think is great. But still, because the parents are separating, I think that because they don't have to present a united front, I think it'll allow them to have very different reactions to Victor revealing that he's gay. And I'm interested to see what the show decides to do with that. I don't know if his dad's nice or not. I can't decide. I don't know. His dad's definitely got some problems. All right, and so to be fair, there's a lot of emotional baggage on the show, which is very realistic. All right, so anyway, the chemistry between Michael Cimino and George Sear is off the charts. Wow, which does put a bit of a wrinkle in the argument that only LGBT actors should play LGBT characters. I think it's to try and get more jobs for those actors, which I totally understand. I think we'd like to eventually get to the point where you do choose the best actor for the job because everyone's getting work. It's a complicated situation. Complicated even further by the fact that these two straight actors, Michael Cimino is definitely straight. I couldn't find out about George Sear for sure or not. But I can't imagine anyone doing a better job in the roles than they did. They were fantastic, and I think they gave great performances and created these wonderful LGBT characters. Now, I'd be curious how you feel about it now that you've seen these two actors in the role. Speaking of straight actors, I was delighted that producer Nick Robinson, who of course starred in the original movie, showed up for one episode as Simon. I thought that was great. He seemed so happy and such a wonderful person. I thought that was wonderful. I really loved Simon in the movie. I was so happy to see him again. And also, Keenan Lonsdale also returns, his boyfriend, who is a member of the LGBT community in real life, and he also made, I think, a very strong impression. It was really, I hope both those characters return. I think that the comments and the depiction of how the LGBT community is so important because they, for many reasons, but one being that they support each other when often no one else in a person's life will at that moment. Eventually, hopefully they come around, but for a very long time, a lot of people who are coming out feel on their own. So who's there to support them, who understand what they're going through? Strangers. But in the LGBT community, they've done a wonderful job of making that not the case. Instant love and acceptance, which I think is really beautiful, and I think, unfortunately, unique to that community. Other groups, we should take note. All right, so anyway, now let's switch over to some of the straight characters on the show. I felt very bad for Rachel Hilson's Mia. That's right, I called her Rachel in my review. Her name's Mia. But I have to say, this is an excellent example of anybody, male or female. You should never try to push a relationship. Either it works or it doesn't, right? I mean, he or she's just not that into you is a saying for a reason. But while I did feel that Mia was doing the wrong thing, I felt that the show was very well written and that they gave her a reason to be doing the wrong thing. And that, of course, was that her mother abandoned her. And I think she has a lot of rejection issues and a feeling of, oh, if only I had been nicer or tried harder, maybe this would work out. And so that's why she did what she did. I hope she learned her lesson. By the end of the season, I also came to really like Mason Gooding's Andrew. I thought he was very charismatic actor, although he always doesn't wear socks. I'd be like, sometimes not wearing socks is cool, but don't make it that you have a sock phobia, man. That distracted me a couple of times with him. But I really like him. I think he's great. I think Mia should give him a second chance. But be careful. People do change, but they don't change overnight. Now, I know a lot of you love Anthony Turple as Felix and B.B. Wood as Lake. But I'm sorry, I continue to find their characters annoying. And I have to say, not always very nice or kind. They remind me of, Peter Parker's friend in those movies. He's supposed to be named Gonk. I forgot his name in the movies. But I think he's a horrible friend. And I thought that Felix and Lake were not consistent in being quality friends. Felix had better moments. I thought he was very sweet when he came over to keep Victor from having to hook up with Mia. I thought that was very nice. He handled the coming out scene really beautifully. So, okay, I kind of like Felix. I kind of like Felix. But Lake, I think, they both have very interesting things about their characters, which we'll discuss in a moment. But I think the jury's still out on Lake as both a friend and a girlfriend. I think I would watch out for her too. But again, this is realistic. A lot of people are not perfect. This show also deals, though, in addition to LGBT situations, with bullying, a parent remarrying, parental pressure, hoarding. I can't believe they threw hoarding in there, but it's a genuine problem that a lot of people deal with. It's just overall a very good teen drama. A very good teen drama, complete with fun opening credits. I never fast forwarded the opening credits. I was like, these are delightful. And a fantastic soundtrack. I can't believe they didn't release an official soundtrack for the show. That's ridiculous. There are a lot of articles online that people have compiled the list of some of the songs. And so I was able to so far get one song that I just loved over the end credits. I think it was maybe episode 3, Too Many Colors by Twin Shadow. I thought that was great. The adult characters are also very good. The entire cast is good, but Ali Wong was my favorite of the adult cast. Mekhi Phifer and Sophia Bush are good as Mia's father and his fiancée, but they're a little bit too good to be true. Hopefully, if the show does get a season 2, they'll be a little bit better fleshed out, and we'll explore them more. So that's my spoiler review of Love, Victor. Thank you again so much, not just for those of you who offered me your password. That was so sweet of you. I can't tell you how many offers I got. You guys are wonderful. But also that you just encouraged me to finish the show, because I'm so glad I did. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely worth the $12. I thought it was fantastic. And actually, to be honest, if I had bought it a la carte on iTunes, I probably would have paid a little more for it. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. It's a great show for anyone. For anyone. It's a great show for anybody. And I think that's obviously where LGBT content needs to go. So that's, again, my review. Share your own thoughts down below. This is the spoiler review, so go to town. What couples are you rooting for? Who do you like? Who do you not like? Subscribe today. And, of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.